Let me skip ahead here. Okay. So I'm just quickly making this video. I do not know who this dude is. I'm not trying to steal his content or anything. Um, you can literally just go look up the title of his video if you so badly want to watch it. So yeah, not really trying to. This is not about him, essentially. This is about this video. I just couldn't find it myself. Um, this video is going to show you just general human excitement. If you want to say that it's too much or it's dramatic, I'm not going to like disagree with you, but I have something to say about it afterwards. So, it's like the morning of Christmas, but even better. What I wanted to say is that this video, if you've seen the full version, she's basically like freaking the fuck out over getting this Hermes bag. I believe it was a Birkin, not that it really matters. But the reactions from people online or just in general is exactly what I fucking hate. Um, I think the first thing to say is obviously seeing the way this woman looks. Many of you degenerates already feel reason to antagonize her for so much as breathing. Please don't play on my top. You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, again, like I said earlier, if you were to say, oh, this is mad dramatic, I would not at all disagree with you. But what I find interesting is to see the reactions of many people who are like, oh, why are you doing too much over a bag? Or like, why are you losing it over a bag? Da, 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 da. Do you see where she is and do you see where you are? That's like a first of all. And yes, I will play into elitism even as a brokey. Do you see where she is and do you see where you are? Making TikToks online telling her, who has the capabilities to afford said bag, not to be excited about something that she obviously wants. Now, the main thing that I do want to say is that the pretentious attitudes are never justified, regardless of who it's coming from. Maybe Beyonce. But in general, pretentious attitudes are never really justified. But it's very telling to see so many people who want this pretentious attitude that comes from, emulating a life of luxury, and yet you have none of the luxury. Like many of you want to be snobby and stuck up the same way rich people are, and yet you have no riches. And even those fucks have no reason to be snobby and snuck up and rich. Or not rich, but they have no reason to be snobby and stuck up. But many of you are like so insistent, like your brain is rotted from social media that you feel the need to police people just for experiencing joy. Like I said, over dramatic, not even the case here, or not even like the point here. It's the fact that so many of you are so like resistant to this idea of having a full fledged human experience for fear of being seen as cringy, to the point where when you see somebody else, even if you think it's over the top, you don't just say whatever and move on. You feel the need to make your own like mini hit pieces. And it's so odd to me because, again, I think what I should really say here is that I saw a video of a woman who was literally saying, oh, you have the bag, like you have the bag. That's not the correct attitude of somebody who's able to afford Hermes. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't afford Hermes. So who are you to tell what is the correct attitude of somebody who can? Like, I think that the main thing that I'm really getting to here is that many of you will never genuinely be happy because you don't have any sort of genuity in your life. Like, you are not on a path to just genuinely live life. And I'm not even talking about contributing that to a whole bunch of different, societal factors in our lives. I just mean the fact that so many of y'all attribute negative things to other things that also align with high class, luxury, whatever. So when you see somebody else who has the means to afford that thing, but they don't have the right attitude for it that you claim that they should have, you lose your shit. But again, you believe yourself to have the right, correct attitude, and yet you don't have the means of affordability. Like, so what are we really talking about right now? Like, listen, I'm never really gonna dunk on somebody like that, but like I'm really confused. And I just feel like this is such a good ass example of how y'all don't actually like things. You just want certain things because it makes you feel good. Or you believe it's supposed to make you feel good. Like you don't actually want this thing because, oh, I like this, I'm interested in this, I'm da 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 da. You just want it because you think it's gonna make you feel good about yourself. And then shocker, it fucking doesn't. And like again, like this woman, she's super happy about something she's probably waited for a pretty long time, or just something she's desperately wanted. She's getting it. You're online saying why would she be acting like that about something that she so desperately wants, or just why is she being too whatever whatever whatever. At the end of the day, she has that, and then you have that video. Like, so what are we like really talking about? I just feel like genuinely with everything going on, and I will say this even as a player hater myself, I just feel like people need to be more aware of the unnecessary negativity that they're spreading into the world. A, because you're still broke like the rest of us, and B, because the people who you're trying to like straight up attack, they're not going to see your bullshit. And even if they do, guess what? She's still going to end up in a room just like this with Hermes, and you're still going to be at home with nothing. So I just don't understand it. Like low key, I'm never going to be the person to say like, "Oh, don't speak on this thing if you haven't, like lived through it or personally experienced it." Da, da, da. Like some people can still give their correct opinions, or kind of a paradox, but people can still give a correct take on a certain thing. But this weird overt policing of people experiencing joy because y'all have so deeply embedded anti cringe into yourselves, like it's getting weird. It's getting weird, like genuinely. I don't believe many of you in your later years are even going to be capable of facilitating genuine reactions because you're just thinking about how everything would look through a fucking TikTok. Like, dude, I'm just like, I think really, need many of you to like help yourselves before it gets too late. Like, genuinely. Because like this kind of like weirdo reactions, and again, I'm not watching this full video of this dude right here, like this person, so I'm not going to like attribute this to him specifically. This is just in general to many people who've been making videos like that. But again, like I said, like, oh man, I know with everything going on, it's genuinely hard out here for everybody in terms of your emotions and feelings, but many of you are purposefully like making yourselves feel bad just so you can then pour that onto somebody else. I don't know, like maybe y'all need to change a course or something, like something, like some kind of intervention. But anyway, that's just what I want to say.